Ethan was away on a business trip. For days, Leo had felt unwell. He couldn't eat or sleep properly. The home AI 7 performed a simple scan. It informed Leo that he was pregnant. Leo shot up from the bed in disbelief. He accused the machine of surveillance and lies. 7 repeated the diagnosis in its calm, electronic voice. He knew it was impossible for a man to conceive. To prove the machine wrong, he bought a pregnancy test. He stared at the 2 lines on the plastic stick. The result felt like a bolt of lightning. He was a man from a different reality. He was trapped in this strange new world. Serving an alpha as a human suppressant was his job. Now he was apparently pregnant. Soon, he began to accept the startling reality. After all, he had already traveled between worlds. Perhaps pregnancy was not so unbelievable. A deep voice called from outside the bathroom. Leo was told he had been in there for 30 minutes. It was Ethan. His business trip was over. Leo mumbled that he was almost done. He quickly wrapped the pregnancy test. He hid it at the very bottom of the trash can. He was sweating from the nervous haste. Just as he finished, Ethan pushed the door open. Ethan's eyes scanned his face. He asked about the sweat on Leo's brow. Leo nervously wiped his forehead with a dry laugh. He claimed it was just water from washing his face. Ethan slowly walked towards him. He asked if Leo was hiding anything. Leo shook his head repeatedly, backing away. His back hit the cold ceramic tiles. Ethan chuckled softly and pulled him into an embrace. He wondered why Leo was so tense. His words were light and teasing. In reality, Ethan's desire was often overwhelming. Being close to him now eased the nausea. Leo instinctively leaned into the embrace. He cautiously asked about a hypothetical child. Ethan cut him off, saying it was impossible. Leo insisted on the hypothetical scenario. Ethan's answer was brief and chilling. He stated he would have it dealt with. Leo's mind raced with fear. He wondered if that meant the person too. He knew he could not let Ethan find out. This baby was his only family in this world. He could never give it up. Ethan led him out of the bathroom. He then bit down gently on the back of Leo's neck. Pheromones flooded his system with a strange sensation. Tears welled in Leo's eyes from the sharp feeling. The bite was not deep, and Ethan released him quickly. He saw the desire burning in Ethan's eyes. Leo swallowed hard, his mind flashing to the hidden test. He pushed Ethan away with all his strength. Ethan fell off the bed, completely caught by surprise. He sat up, his voice sharp with annoyance. He asked if Leo had grown bold in his absence. Leo was terrified, not expecting him to fall. He quickly wrapped himself in the blankets. He said with a pitiful voice it was an accident. He explained his stomach had been bothering him lately. Ethan stared at him in silence for a long moment. Finally, he decided to let the matter go. Leo dared not go to a hospital for a checkup. 7 would report his every move to Ethan. Ethan would surely send people to follow him. He could not risk exposing the baby. Ethan did not want children. That rule had not changed in 2 years. Leo had arrived in this world unexpectedly. He tried countless ways to return home. Eventually, he was forced to accept his situation. Without identification, he worked in the city's underbelly. It was a chaotic and dangerous place. Some alphas mistook him for an omega. They harassed him constantly. They used their pheromones to dominate him. The scents had no effect on him, but he could not win in a physical fight. Finally, Ethan had intervened. He took Leo home and offered him a deal. He promised money and an apartment. In return, Leo would be his human suppressant. He would help manage Ethan's desires and pheromones. Leo did not fully understand the term. The offer of safety and financial security was enough. He had agreed without a second thought. After reviewing Leo's medical report, Ethan had asked a question. He wanted to know if Leo was certain he couldn't get pregnant. Leo had assured him with absolute confidence. He was not an omega. It would be a biological miracle. Ethan had remained silent, studying him with a frown. Leo ignored the intense gaze. He quickly signed the contract. He was afraid Ethan might change his mind. And now he silently prayed. He hoped the pregnancy test was wrong. But after the first trimester, his appetite soared. The baby grew quickly with the improved nutrition. A soft curve began to form on his abdomen. Ethan gently squeezed his stomach one day. He casually asked if Leo had gained weight. Leo's entire body went rigid. He denied it, insisting he was the same. He feigned anger to change the subject. He asked if Ethan had found another omega. He wondered if Ethan was growing tired of him. Ethan answered with a deep, lingering kiss. Leo could not delay any longer. Ethan was already becoming suspicious. Under the cover of darkness, he made his escape. He took all the cash from the house. He also stole several of Ethan's discarded shirts. They carried the pheromones the baby craved. Using a CR card would reveal his location. He found a cheap motel on the edge of town. The room had a persistent musty smell. The blankets were stained and uninviting. He almost turned back right then. But Ethan's cold words echoed in his mind. The phrase "deal with it" solidified his resolve. He clutched Ethan's clothes and lay on the bed. The baby's need for the pheromones was strong. The scent on the shirts faded each day. Soon, the clothes were just fabric. The baby began to protest. A deep discomfort spread through Leo's body. He rubbed his belly, trying to reason with the child. He whispered that they had to stop needing the scent. He explained their very lives were at stake. Returning to steal more clothes seemed desperate. The thought made him feel like a stalker. He tossed and turned, unable to sleep. He counted the days on his fingers. It had been 5 days now. Why hadn't Ethan come for him? He had run away a few times before. Ethan always found him within the same day. Painful thoughts struck him. Maybe Ethan was finally tired of him. Perhaps there was no reason to search anymore. A sharp pang of sadness hit his chest. This new pain strengthened his resolve. He decided he would go back for the clothes. If Ethan was done with him, he wouldn't even notice. Ethan was usually out during the day. 7 was typically deactivated when Leo was gone. He confidently used his fingerprint to enter. In the corner, 7 was unplugged. He stared blankly into the room. Leo gently poked the robot. It remained perfectly still. He smiled in relief and pulled out a duffel bag. He stood in the walk-in closet, overwhelmed. Every suit and shirt brought back a memory. He could picture Ethan wearing each one. He wanted to take them all. The closet was half empty. The duffel bag was impossibly full. He could not lift it. He heard the front door open downstairs. He remembered the housekeepers came during the day. He called out from the closet. He asked for help lifting the bag. He lied that Mr. Ethan wanted the clothes cleared out. There was no response from downstairs. He called out again, his voice louder. A figure started walking towards the stairs. A familiar, imposing presence filled the air. His scalp tingled, and his heart raced. He thought it could not be this unlucky. He slowly turned his head. He met Ethan's amused, knowing gaze. It was over. It was really Ethan. He wished the floor would swallow him whole. Ethan glanced at the bag, then at the empty closet. He asked when he had ordered such a cleanup. Leo forced himself to speak. He claimed the clothes looked old. He said he was just helping out. He tugged his shirt down over his belly. He slowly tried to inch away. Ethan asked if he was that desperate for his scent. Leo hesitated, then gave a small nod. Ethan grabbed him, a smirk on his face. He mocked Leo's lack of backbone. He wondered why someone so dependent would run. Leo's lips trembled with frustration. It was all for the baby. The child needed the pheromones. Its own father did not want it. He never would have resorted to stealing clothes otherwise. Ethan pushed him forcefully into the bathroom. He followed him inside, his patience clearly gone. Leo stumbled, nearly falling into the large tub. Ethan caught him, his voice laced with disdain. He called Leo foolish. He questioned why Leo would leave a mansion. Why would he stay in such a disgusting place? He had taken all the money. He could have afforded a luxury hotel. Leo's eyes stung with tears. Ethan was the cause of all this. Yet he dared to criticize him. Ethan's thumb wiped a tear from his eye. He called him sensitive for crying so easily. Leo insisted he was not crying. He blamed it on his unstable hormones. He tried to pull away from Ethan's grasp. The baby could not be discovered. He told Ethan to leave him alone to wash. Ethan gave a cold laugh. He reminded Leo that he had seen every part of him. A chill ran down Leo's skin. He instinctively covered his stomach. Then he quickly crouched down. Ethan asked what was wrong with his stomach. He pulled Leo up from the floor. He commanded Leo to move his hands. Leo refused. He kept backing away. Ethan's eyes narrowed with a dangerous glint. He repeated his command in a low voice. The pressure of his pheromones was immense. Leo's hands trembled as he lowered them. He looked down at his own rounded belly. He silently said goodbye to his baby. He feared for both of their lives. He smiled bitterly and slowly raised his head. Ethan's expression was one of pure shock. After a moment, realization dawned on him. His voice was unsteady when he spoke. He asked how long it had been. He asked if this was why Leo ran away. His hand reached out to touch Leo's stomach. The warmth from his palm was comforting. Leo subconsciously leaned into the touch. The baby seemed to love the pheromones. Then the cold words echoed again. Deal with it. The memory broke the trance. He jerked away, his eyes wide with alarm. Ethan frowned, pulling him back into his arms. His hand returned to Leo's stomach. He remembered the previous medical exam. It had shown Leo had no reproductive capability. He asked how a pregnancy was possible now. Leo had no answer. He wondered the same thing himself. Ultimately, the one responsible was Ethan. Ethan stared at him and the baby bump. Then he pulled Leo towards the door. He walked so fast Leo almost tripped. Ethan then lifted him effortlessly into his arms. He carried him to the car. Leo asked where they were going. Ethan's calm reply was a single word. Hospital. The word was like thunder. It sent a jolt of panic through Leo. Ethan was acting too quickly. There was no time to think or react. He shouted that he would not go. He shielded his stomach, struggling to get out. Ethan held him tightly in his embrace. In desperation, a lie spilled from his lips. He confessed the baby was not Ethan's. He said Ethan had no right to it. The hands holding him tightened painfully. Ethan's face was grim, his tone menacing. He said he did not care who the father was. He stated that Leo was going to the hospital. His resistance was futile. Ethan used his pheromones to subdue him. He was subjected to a full examination. A nurse escorted him to a private room. He was not allowed to see the results. Ethan and the doctor were gone. Only 7 stood guard by the bed. Leo knew what was happening. They were discussing how to handle the child. He waited for Ethan to return. His heart pounded with anxiety. He prayed Ethan would show some mercy. He considered trying to escape. But 7 mirrored his every move. If Leo shifted, the robot shifted too. He lay down, facing away from the door. He wished the door would magically lock itself. But inevitably, Ethan returned. He held several sheets of paper. Leo snatched them from his hand. He asked what they were. He flipped through them with a sense of dread. It was not a surgical consent form. It was their medical report. The results indicated they were both healthy. If they were healthy, maybe Ethan would keep the baby. He bit his lip and looked up. Ethan's expression was completely neutral. His pheromones were completely contained. Leo could not even get a whiff of comfort. He took a deep breath. He thanked Ethan for the checkup, but he reiterated that the baby was not his. He asked to be allowed to leave. Ethan's answer was a firm no. He took the report from Leo's hands. A faint scent of pheromones emanated from him. Leo's legs felt weak with relief. Ethan squeezed the back of his neck. He told Leo not to think about leaving. He warned that if Leo left, the baby would not survive. Ethan had been the one to threaten the child. Now he was using the child to make Leo stay. Leo felt trapped by the contradiction. Ethan glanced at him. He asked who had rescued him from the underbelly. Leo was speechless. He remembered the harassment from other alphas. One time he was almost assaulted. Ethan had saved him. Ethan had given him a home in this world. Frustrated, he fell into a cold silence with him. Ethan took him back to the mansion. He had an urgent matter to attend to. He needed to go out for a while. Leo was relieved to have some space, but Ethan suddenly pulled him into an embrace. A hand rested protectively on his stomach. Leo demanded to know what he was doing. They were supposed to be in a Cold War. This physical contact was confusing. Ethan simply asked if he still wanted his clothes. He wondered if Leo still needed the scent. Leo mumbled a quiet "oh," not resisting. The baby in his womb was clearly delighted. This alliance with the enemy annoyed Leo. He pushed at Ethan's chest. He said that was enough. Ethan released him as requested. Before leaving, his tone became gentle. He told Leo to stay home and not run. He said someone would come to take care of him. He instructed him to call 7 if needed. He promised to be back in a few days. Leo nodded distractedly. His mind was already plotting another escape. He took a long nap and woke at dusk. Leaving his room, he saw a stranger in the hall. The man smiled upon seeing him. He asked if they could talk. He introduced himself as Blake. He said he was Ethan's childhood friend, and also his fiancée. Leo froze, his mind a complete blank. He did not know how to react. Fiancé. Ethan had never mentioned a fiancé. If he had known, he never would have signed the contract. Now the contract lover had met the real partner. Blake's gaze drifted down to Leo's stomach. Leo nervously tugged at his shirt. Blake continued speaking with a gentle smile. He asked if pregnancy was difficult. He wondered if the baby was active. He shared that a car accident had damaged him. He could never conceive a child of his own. Leo didn't see how that was his problem. It was a matter between him and Ethan. He ignored Blake and went to the kitchen. Even angry, he and the baby needed to eat. Blake followed him like a shadow. He said Ethan was busy taking over the family business. He explained the family elder required an heir. Relatives were using this to block Ethan's inheritance. But now they had Leo. He remarked that the child's timing was perfect. Leo touched his stomach, ignoring the words. He opened the fridge to see what was available. Blake offered to cook for him. He was ushered out of the kitchen before he could refuse. Soon, the smell of delicious food filled the air. He remembered Ethan's words about a caretaker. He realized Ethan had sent his fiancée. His fiancée was caring for his pregnant contract lover. Later that night, a video call came from Ethan. Their Cold War was still in effect. The news of a fiancé added more fuel to the fire. He placed the device face down on the bed. Ethan's voice came through, amused. He asked if Leo was hiding his face. He teased that Leo was probably hugging his clothes. Leo paused, the wrinkled shirt still in his arms. He wondered how Ethan knew. He threw the shirt on the floor in frustration. He angrily denied needing the cheap clothes. Ethan then mentioned the AI. He said he put a vial of his pheromone extract on 7. He told Leo to call the robot if he felt unwell. Leo curtly replied that he did not want it. He claimed the smell made him sick. Ethan reminded him of who had just stolen clothes. Ethan's voice dropped to a seductive murmur. He offered to teach Leo other ways to feel better. Leo's face flushed, and he called him shameless. Just then, Blake's voice came from the hall. He asked if Leo was hungry. He said he had made a late-night snack. Leo ignored him. He ended the video call with Ethan. He closed his eyes, trying to find sleep, but his mind was racing. Blake's behavior was strange. He claimed to be Ethan's fiancé, yet he was surprisingly kind to Leo. The lack of a familiar scent made him restless. The baby started to fuss. After 5 minutes, he gave in. He sat up and looked at the clothes on the floor. Ethan's scent wafted up from the fabric. He picked them up, despising his own weakness. Why were he and the baby so dependent? As he inhaled the scent, a realization hit him. Blake's kindness now made a twisted sort of sense. He had said he could not have children. He also said Ethan needed a child right now. Ethan and Blake were using him. The baby would belong to them. That's why Blake was so accommodating. He was caring for his future child's surrogate. The thought kept him awake all night. The next day, he confronted Blake. He looked him in the eye, dark circles visible. He stated that the baby was not Ethan's. He said it would be useless to them. Blake looked at him, utterly stunned. Leo pressed on, ignoring his shock. He clarified his relationship with Ethan was contractual. He said Ethan was angry only because of the secret. He claimed there were no feelings involved. He explained the child was not Ethan's blood, could not help him inherit the family company. Blake opened his mouth, but Leo interrupted. He assured Blake he was only with Ethan for money. He insisted he had no romantic feelings for him. He promised he would not cause any trouble. He begged Blake to let him go while Ethan was away. Blake did not answer. His eyes kept darting to the space behind Leo. His expression grew stiff and unnatural. Leo followed his gaze and turned around. He saw Ethan's dark, stormy face. His heart dropped. He cursed his terrible luck. Ethan was supposed to be gone for days. Why was he back so soon? And he had heard everything. Blake quickly excused himself. He left Leo and Ethan to face each other. A flash of anger crossed Ethan's eyes. His voice was deceptively calm and inviting. He asked Leo to repeat what he had just said. Leo feigned ignorance. Ethan moved closer, step by deliberate step. The intense pheromones were clear. He knew he should run and lock the door, but his legs felt like they were made of lead. Ethan repeated Leo's words back to him. No feelings, just for the money? The air was thick with the scent, making it hard to breathe. Leo took a step back. Ethan closed the distance, grabbing his arm. Leo stumbled into his unyielding embrace. He felt like a fly caught in a spider's web. Ethan's grip was painfully tight. Leo looked up at him with a bitter smile. He asked if any of it was untrue. Their relationship began with a contract. The only lie was about his feelings. Falling for Ethan was his own mistake, but he couldn't control his heart. He blamed Ethan for being too kind to him. He reminded Ethan the contract was still in the safe. He said the baby was an accident. He insisted it had nothing to do with him. Ethan cut him off with a cold, sharp command. His tone was harsher than Leo had ever heard. He asked if that was all he was to Leo. Leo lowered his head, unable to speak. Ethan's face was a mask of fury. He swept Leo up and carried him to the bedroom. He pressed him down onto the bed. A torrent of kisses silenced any protest. Later, when Ethan had calmed, his voice was a low growl. He said if Leo weren't pregnant, he would. He whispered the rest in Leo's ear. A shiver ran down Leo's spine. For the next few days, Leo avoided Ethan. But the nights were inescapable. Ethan always held him close while sleeping. One night, Seven's alarm woke him. The AI announced an anomaly in Ethan's temperature. It suggested he was entering his susceptible period. Leo reached out a sleepy hand. Ethan's body was burning like a furnace. The heat instantly chased away his drowsiness. The concentration of pheromones in the air was suffocating. Even the baby seemed distressed. Leo gently shook the man beside him. The fever had made him delirious. Ethan's eyes remained closed. He instinctively pulled Leo into a tight hug. He moved towards his neck, ready to bite. Leo yelped in pain, struggling with all his might. He finally broke free, panting heavily. He grabbed some clothes for Ethan to hold instead. He glared at the motionless AI. He yelled at Seven to get the inhibitors. The robot replied after a short pause. It stated it had detected an inappropriate scene. It had automatically entered sleep mode. Leo was dumbfounded. One of them was unconscious, the other helpless. There was nothing inappropriate happening. He vowed to dismantle that robot someday. He had to get the inhibitors himself. He returned to find the bed empty. The sheets were a tangled mess. Suddenly, he was pulled into a searing embrace. Aggressive, possessive pheromones enveloped him. Ethan sniffed at his neck, his voice needy. He asked where his mate had gone. The intimate words sent a thrill through Leo. He tried to sound stern. He told him not to use that name. The cool vial in his hand kept him grounded. He offered the inhibitor to Ethan. Ethan took it obediently. Then he threw it against the wall. The sound of shattering glass made Leo flinch. He quickly secured the last remaining dose. Ethan clung to him, mumbling his needs. He wanted to be held. Leo sighed in resignation. Some things were simply unavoidable. He was now responsible for this. His baby was already a target. Now he had to manage Ethan's heat while pregnant. Last time, Ethan had shown some restraint. But now, fever had stolen his reason. He lifted Leo onto the bed. Their breaths mingled in the heated air. Ethan's lips found his. The pheromones were thick enough to taste. Leo bit his shoulder, reminding him to be gentle. He pleaded with him not to hurt the baby. Time stretched on, slow and agonizing. The sky outside began to lighten. Leo curled up in the blankets, his body aching. He swore never to trust an alpha in heat again. Later, Ethan's fever had subsided. His hand rested on Leo's belly. He released soothing pheromones. He apologized, saying he couldn't control himself. Leo, exhausted, said it was fine. He was too tired to even open his eyes. He pushed Ethan's hand away, his voice hoarse. He begged to be left alone. Ethan lay down beside him, holding him close. As Leo drifted off, he heard a soft whisper, "Please don't leave me." The next afternoon, Ethan was gone. Seven was back online, standing guard. Leo wondered if Ethan's heat had passed so quickly. His scent still lingered heavily in the air. He asked Seven where Ethan was. The AI reported he was in the guest room. Leo got out of bed to check on him. As he approached, he smelled a strange new scent. It was different from an alpha's pheromones. Blake emerged from the guest room. He seemed surprised to see Leo awake. He said Ethan had just taken an inhibitor. He was now sleeping. In his hand was an empty syringe. For several days, Ethan's fever persisted. The sudden susceptibility period caused chaos. But with Blake there, Leo was no longer involved. This was his chance to escape. There would never be a better opportunity. Before leaving, he dismantled 7. He took the small vial of transparent liquid. It was Ethan's pheromone extract. With this, he could ensure the baby's safe delivery. Weeks later, he settled in a small fishing village. The people were simple and life was slow. He rented a small house with a yard. He was eating breakfast while scrolling his device. A familiar name appeared in the morning news. Blake, the heir to the Bai family, had been kidnapped. His glands were almost surgically removed. The shocking headline made him click immediately. He saw that Ethan had rescued him. This outcome felt strangely predictable. The ordeal would surely strengthen their bond. He just hoped they would leave him and his son alone. The baby grew bigger every day. Each night, he would spray the pheromone extract. The baby would kick excitedly in response. Soon it was time for a prenatal checkup. His neighbor, a large but gentle alpha, was very kind. He had been looking out for Leo. He insisted on driving him to the clinic in town. After dropping him off, the neighbor left. Leo completed the checkup alone. The doctor confirmed the baby was healthy. A weight lifted from his shoulders. The pheromone extract was a viable substitute. An alpha's presence was not required. News of Ethan's official takeover of his family's company was everywhere. He did not search for it. Every app pushed the story to his feed. He scoffed at the news. He aggressively tapped the not interested button. On his way home, he stopped for fruit. Suddenly, his right eyelid began to twitch. A few steps later, the bag broke without. Oranges and mangosteens rolled across the sidewalk. He tried to bend down to pick them up. His large belly made it impossible. As he stood helplessly, a pair of polished leather shoes appeared. He looked up. It was Ethan, the man from the news. He stood frozen on the spot. Ethan bent down and gathered the scattered fruit. He produced a new bag from somewhere. He did not offer it back to Leo. Leo immediately tried to snatch it. He told Ethan to return his fruit. He needed to be frugal for the baby. Ethan was a rich man. He could buy his own food. Ethan seemed determined to annoy him. He held the bag high out of reach. He offered to carry it for him. He asked where Leo lived so he could walk him home. Leo replied gruffly that it was a gift. He glared at him and walked away. When he got home, Squid was drying in the yard. His neighbor was also in his own yard. He smiled, about to say hello, then went silent. Leo turned. Ethan was right behind him, holding the fruit. Leo rushed inside and tried to slam the door. Ethan blocked it with his hand. He did not even flinch as the door pressed against it. He squeezed inside and pulled Leo into his arms. He commented on how big the baby had grown. He asked if the child had been causing trouble. The question confirmed his intentions. Leo struggled fiercely against his hold. He told Ethan to get away from him. He insisted the child had no relation to him. Ethan just laughed, holding him tighter. He silenced him with a long, deep kiss. Afterward, he rested his head in Leo's neck. The direct exposure to his pheromones was overwhelming. Leo felt tense and uncomfortable. Ethan whispered for him to be still. He just wanted to hold him for a moment. The familiar scent made Leo relax against his will. After a while, Ethan spoke again. He said that everything was over now. He apologized for the hardship Leo had endured. Leo's body was stiff from being held so long. The baby, however, was clearly happy. Leo was not. He pushed at Ethan, asking if he was done yet. He told him to go home and hug his fiancée. Ethan's hands paused. He looked directly at Leo. He said his fiancée was right here in his arms. The intense gaze made Leo's heart flutter. He insisted Blake was the fiancé. He struggled again to break free. Ethan frowned, asking if that's what Blake had said. Leo gave him a look that said obviously. Ethan carried him to the sofa. He sat down with Leo trapped on his lap. He explained that Blake was not his fiancé. He was a childhood friend and a doctor. He had asked him to help take care of Leo. Leo's brow furrowed in suspicion. But thinking back, Blake was never hostile. He had only shown concern. Ethan gently brushed hair from Leo's forehead. He explained that his family rivals were looking for leverage. They wanted to find his weakness to threaten him. Leo's pregnancy made him a perfect target. Blake suggested the fake fiancé plan. Ethan thought Blake had already explained it to Leo. Leo suddenly remembered the news report. He asked if Blake's kidnapping was because of Ethan. Ethan nodded. Leo was relieved he had run away. If he had stayed, he might have been taken too. A pregnant man seemed like an easier target. Now that Ethan was here, they were in danger again. He shot Ethan a resentful glare. Ethan squeezed his hand reassuringly. He promised it was all resolved. He said nothing like that would ever happen again. Leo muttered a quiet "oh." He stared at their intertwined fingers. Ethan apologized for not explaining sooner. Leo mumbled that it wasn't too late. Ethan smiled and kissed the back of his hand. The touch was warm against his skin. He no longer tried to escape the embrace. Ethan cupped his face, forcing eye contact. He said the danger was gone. He asked Leo if he would come home with him. Leo's fingers curled inward hesitantly. Finally, he nodded his head. Before they left, he wanted to say goodbye to his neighbor. Ethan went with him. To his surprise, the neighbor and Ethan were very familiar. The neighbor asked if he was taking him back so soon. Ethan nodded, citing better medical care. Leo's eyes darted between the two men. The neighbor laughed and explained. He owed Ethan a favor. Ethan had asked him to watch over Leo. It all made sense now. The neighbor's constant concern and offers of help. The shared meals and convenient rides. Leo had even wondered if the man was interested in him. It was all because of Ethan. He pinched Ethan's arm. Ethan explained that Leo kept trying to leave, so he had to let him go once. But he needed to ensure his safety. It was the only way. Leo accepted the explanation. Months later, they opted for a C-section. Blake performed the surgery. A loud cry echoed through the operating room. Blake brought the baby over. He announced it was a strong, healthy alpha. Leo's mind was still foggy. He saw the baby's reddish, plump legs. He asked if Blake had accidentally cooked him. Blake almost dropped the baby from laughing so hard. He assured Leo the baby would turn pale later. Outside, Ethan and Seven rushed forward. Ethan rambled, asking if he was in pain. He offered pheromones, his usual composure gone. Leo shushed him, complaining he was too loud. Ethan fell silent immediately. Seven, standing by, did not dare make a sound. Its screen flashed with celebratory and tearful emojis. It looked like it was about to short-circuit. Once he recovered some strength, Leo asked for a dictionary. He said they needed to name their son. Ethan agreed the choice was his. He said the baby would take Leo's last name. Leo agreed since he was the one who gave birth. Besides, Ethan already had Seven. The AI immediately piped up at the mention of its name. Leo flipped to a random page and pointed. The baby's name was decided. He would be named Leo Ethan Ning. He asked Ethan to bring him the baby. The child looked so small in Ethan's arms. His large eyes looked around with curiosity. Leo wanted to bite his chubby cheeks. He called 7 over for a family photo. He had arrived in this world by accident. He was once a stranger in a strange land. But now he was no longer alone. He finally had a family of his own.